Chapter 3 continues. Mysteries of the South. The sound for the direction of the south on the medicine wheel became for me the vowel sound eh, pronounced according to the Spanish letter E. Eh stands for relationship. It is here we learn to deal with all our relationships in life. What you're hearing in the background, or maybe not so background, is a Carolina wren. Ultimately, it is here that we understand our relationship with Spirit from the beginning and forevermore. The color of the South in the medicine wheel is white, a metaphor for the connection that all frequencies have with each other. Eh in Tiwa means you, and you means where the physical and the spiritual planes come together in innocence, in God's carrying light. In the Sundance ceremony, a tradition committed to authentic vision, the sun comes down from the sky and dances for 3 days in order to receive Grandmother Earth's spiritual blessings. The sound vibration depicts how relativity is the connection bonding all things into the web of life. All things are connected. The Y in the English word you is pronounced E. The sound is the gate of awareness that bonds or connects as in a grid the physical world and the spiritual world of ideas. So, symbolically, when I say you, I am saying that at that moment, you are the doorway for me to evolve to my place of higher spiritual awareness. This is one of the mysteries of what life is about. Because I found out it takes another person to make me a possibility. I need another person to reflect back to me my identity as it emerges from potential into manifestation. Also, when two people are in relationship to each other, these two sets of vibrations begin to hit against each other, and in that interaction, both are changed and lifted. So the E sound in you recognizes that another person is a doorway for me, and the OO, the double U in you, recognizes that the relationship we are forming is a container in which both our energies are to be carried, like a glass carries water. To nurture the soul in each of us, the word for soul in Tiwa means drinker. The soul is that in us which thirsts for knowledge or truth or enlightenment, or actual water for that matter. Then take oo-e. This sound combination in English means we. In French, it is oui. Yes, in Tiwa, it has two meanings, to climb and to give. All of these ideas spring from a sound combination which encompasses them all. As soon as an English-speaking person says we, in that moment he is also saying to give, to climb, and yes, the ooh-e vibration moves us to higher consciousness in the same way we are moved up when we give away what we have in order to receive. At the same time, it affirms and says yes to our relationship, recognizing that as many people come together, we are all lifted. The fastest way to achieve higher consciousness in the beginning of creation was for many ideas, no matter how diverse they were, to come together and to be in relationship with one another. Nature does not have a name for the vibration of upward mobility. nor does it have a name for many people. It only has a name for going up, and accordingly, many people and going up are synonymous. So, if we belong to a large planetary family as a body of people living together on planet Earth, we are automatically going to achieve higher consciousness faster because we are made up of many ideas. Because we are made up of many ideas in relationship with that of community. We came together here because we wanted to evolve beyond the ordinary life we were living as individuals. The groupness and the going upness of life is how, in the resonance of vibration, we evolve. The people means vibration and represents life on the skin of Grandmother Earth. Because we live on her skin, we automatically are destined to evolve to higher forms, because skin or vibration is synonymous with liftingness. So we are automatically being lifted just because we are on the skin of the earth, which is made of ideas that are being cultivated and integrated into new designs by Mother Nature. The position of the south on the medicine wheel also represents the emotional body. Emotional awareness is awareness of feelings. The sound shows the relationship between one aspect and another aspect. Between differences, even the differences of one person from another. The of the south is your relationship with your lover, your relationship with all the people in your life, the invisible as well as the visible. The south is for the purpose of carrying one another in a loving way. Think of yourself as a single idea resonating, so that instead of the whole tree, you see the limbs or the trunk, or in a situation, you focus on a particular point of view rather than on an overview. What can happen is you may get stuck in duality, in judgment or confusion, or in an inability to decide because you are in a state of separation from your true self. From the south, you jump to reconciliation, the west. It is the same nature of vibration for this to naturally occur, and from reconciliation, we move to our spiritual purpose in life, north, and next into transformational potential, the center. The mysteries of the West. In the direction of the west is the vowel I, pronounced according to the Spanish pronunciation of E. E is the sound of awareness, the vibration of awareness. Awareness is where and when I understand that inside of self is the place from which insight comes into consciousness. The metaphor of the corn maiden, who is, in our myths, the field of dreams, explains the concept of awareness. A young Indian woman stands confidently in a cornfield. The gentle breath of the infinite blows a few loose strands of her silken, long, black, braided hair of the infinite void. Her graceful body is clothed in the muted tones of buckskin. Of the cover of wisdom it is made. A necklace is fastened around her neck, made of intricate beadwork and glistening silver. This is the place of the upper and middle worlds. On her feet, a pair of carefully hand-stitched moccasins, made of descending light, which are tied neatly with strips of rawhide, made of perpetual vigilance. In her hand, she holds a planting stick, sharply pointed on one end. Her eyes turn downward, and she examines the soil beneath, over which water now flows. She bends ever so slightly and with her stick probes the earth. The woman is a symbol of co-web, the vibration that brings everything beautiful together in one place. It brings together the north, the south, the east, and the west, the up, above, and the down below. The dress she wears is ni, insight, the capacity to hear the sounds of innocence that come into constant review. The necklace is the metaphor of the connection between earth and the sky, of connecting thinking with feeling. She looks at water, the crystallized light, but also heart serum, that which comes from the sacred heart of the innermost place of enlightenment of God's greatness. Because the stick has a point, the moment she pokes it into the soil, she penetrates wisdom, which is ready to erupt and flood forth with awareness. She stands truly in our awareness of a cornfield of dreams. She stands among the cornstalks of our awareness, and she is standing as the metaphor of the awareness of the presence of the great mystery. She stands on the awareness of the landscape of the infinite self and allows herself to be drunk through the feet of the young woman. And the poet says, "Oh, how beautiful it is to ascend as woman and to stand while sinking into the field of dreams among the cornstalks of her delight." The direction of the west on the medicine wheel is the direction of the physical. The reason everything became physical is because it wanted to become the concrete form of calling. Calling was and is the process of awareness coming into being. In Tewa teachings, as soon as a thought is crystallized, it automatically begins to call more of its own kind into existence. Even when we don't speak our thoughts, this tendency of a thought to multiply itself causes our ideas to go out so that others pick up on them and use them, even if they aren't conscious of doing so. Our thoughts become a part of the outer landscape. Thoughts, like people, places, and things, once they are alive, seek perpetuity. They seek to continue on. Thus, formlessness resonates into form through calling. Physicality derives from the resonating form of the formlessness. In the west direction, we become aware of calling and of physicality and concreteness. The physical's body reason for being is that it wanted to bond faith, the mother-father of the awareness of purity, time, and the ladder to the heavens. That is what created the physical plane. The moment the physical plane was created, there was the form of calling, aware of itself. As the third position on the medicine wheel, the West is where we resolve opposites and paradoxes, where we find the solution. It is here that we come into harmony. The reason why we can reconcile is because we disappear and reappear again. This is one of the basic truths of physicality. We flash in and out of existence, but it is happening so fast that it is not apparent to us. Our perception creates a veil around those moments in which we don't exist. In the direction of the West, we are dying and we are birthing. We are the beginning and we are the end results. And we are everything in between. Mysteries of the North. The vibrational sound for the direction of the north on the medicine wheel is O, which is pronounced, according to the Spanish letter O. O. O means innocence, placement, clarity about who you are or what your next step is. It is a level of consciousness that does not have interruption, a state of ascending spiritual continuity. It is a place of the pillar of truth. Oh means child. It means innocence. The vibration of oh is constantly renewing itself. It is totally open to the process of evolving, of unfolding. A growing person has the capacity to be open and has an essence of curiosity, which is free-flowing, constantly renewing selfness. A selfness renewed by experiencing the moments that take it reaching far beyond self. In the direction of the north is the winter, from which all things appear on the wheel of life. We are the letter O, meaning that we are like the child whose father-mother is standing in the north, lifting us higher and higher into life. The child that is born with a purpose and knows where it is going. The north direction, like all directions, is continually occurring, because the medicine wheel only lasts for a moment, and then it disappears, and then it is born again, and then it disappears again. North is the life of all things going through the hollow bone, like the hollow bone of the sun dancer. And each time life appears and disappears in the direction of the north, there is innocence, the ascension of living breath. There is a new being every time. Energy disappears and reappears, and when it comes back, it is a new form. Even though it may have the same characteristics, it is not the same. O also means placement. To see a chief in his headdress is to understand placement, even if it is only at an unconscious level. Chief means chi, or truth, the cutting edge or the cold truth. The image of the chief centers everything, just as does the presence of the king. He is at the center of his kingdom. There is a sense that wherever he moves, he carries truth and keeps his placement. The chief knows his place. In his presence, we are automatically more connected with our own center and our placement in life. The center, chief, essence moves us by virtue of its being clearly defined. The feathers in the headdress worn by the chief, mother, father, person symbolize the deepest meaning of the vowel O, placement, which is really a level of consciousness that does not have interruption, a state of perpetual continuity. On the feathers, the kiwa of initiation on the headdress. The first band of color is white, symbolizing all colors of the aura. All colors of all things or moments must be initiated before they can express essence. This is the way of vibration, and the color white initiates all the other colors to produce their own particular resonance. Next is the band of black. Po ne ni, raw wisdom. The final band extending outward, constantly renewing itself and unfolding, is white again. In wearing the headdress, the chief commemorates this power. Its energy is returned to him through the headdress and is radiated to all in his presence. This is the real reason kings and queens wear crowns. Behind a tradition, we can always find a principal idea represented, the purpose of which is the unfolding of consciousness. It is important for the unfolding of consciousness that the forms of chiefship, queenship, or kingship be maintained. There is a well-founded theory in social science that all prehistoric societies saw themselves as being at the center of their universe. Their world perspective was from their position at the center of the circle, with the rest of the world surrounding them. The quality point at the center of the circle is the caller of highest greatness. One of its inherent qualities that sits at the center of all life is that it calls greatness into existence for its own personal unfolding. No matter what our view of ourselves is, our consciousness is at the center. Because it is, we automatically attract greatness. That is the nature of vibration. We attract to ourselves the highest potential for that movement, and with it comes a sense of awe for all life. So, why don't people manifest more greatness? We don't, because we have a block in our medicine wheel, a mental, emotional, physical, or spiritual block in regard to a particular issue. There may be a mental block, for instance, holding onto a belief such as, to be poor is noble, it brings you closer to God, and so poverty is what that person manifests. The north is the direction of the spiritual on the circle of life. The spiritual blowing through the circle, through the hollow bone, gives breath to everything. It allows for metaphors to speak and allows for ideas to talk about themselves from inside the hollow bone, the wall of which is innocence. The north is also the fourth position on the wheel, and it is a place where we know our path and know our next step. It is appropriate, then, that the color of the north is red, which means completion. Mysteries from the center of the medicine wheel. The vibrational sound for the center of the medicine wheel is the vowel U, pronounced according to the Spanish U, U. U means carrying. It speaks of how God is carrying all life as ideas that are constantly appearing as insights. The human is a medicine bag. A medicine bag contains articles deemed sacred and holy by the person to whom the bag belongs. So it is with us. We carry holy objects in our psyche. The vibration of the sacred medicine bag is to see, to have capacities of the visionary. So, when we carry these forms, we carry the capacity of drinking the light, of being visionaries, exploring existence. In the center of the medicine wheel is a very empty place. For example, the traditional form for vision quest was to go to the top of a mountain. Going to the top of the mountain, or the top of any high place, has the quality, symbolically, of going to the heart center of vibration, where we search not only for ordinary awareness, but for the highest possibility in conscious awareness. The mountaintop is in the environment for the highest potential because the vibration of light there is of a very high quality. The vibration of light there is of a very high quality. It is on the top of a Vision Quest mountain where the heart and mind are bonded together. The intent of the Vision Quester is to go to the heart center of the Great Spirit, to the heart of the Great Mystery, because that is where everything dies into greatness of meaning. The reason Spirit communicates with us at this level is because technically we do not exist. Only in the place of emptiness at the center of life do we gain complete clarity and become aware of the truth. For here we truly are full of nothing, part of all existence, which is full of nothing. One of the qualities that energy has is physicality. Because of this, Energy awakens the physical body to connect to the mental body, to the emotional body, and to the spiritual body of the vision quester. As soon as all of these four bodies, or four directions, are bonded, the east mental, south emotional, west physical, and north spiritual, then one enters the above, below, and the middle heart level, the fifth dimensional vibration or place. It is in this sacred place that one receives insight and becomes clairvoyant. Only here are we empty so that we can see the future and into the past. Technically, we do not exist. Another quality of the center of the circle is that this high clarity connects us with time. I am talking about linear time, and linear time is measurable time. Measurable time comes from the archetype of traveling goodness. It connects us with this heart center, the heart center of wisdom, which is at the top of the mountain. The heart and the wisdom and the time are connection for us. We are connected with them when we place ourselves at the top of this highest mountain, which is made up of vibration, composed of slowed down light that is crystallized into meaning. This crystallized meaning comes from the land and the sky. Vibration reflects from itself new insights in each moment, because light is constantly evolving and growing and needs new insightfulness to grow. It is in our nature to behave this way because we too have our heart, wisdom, and time connection. The place at the top of the mountain, then, is the place where we are capable of the very highest awareness. Here is transformational potential which sits in the fifth position at the center of the wheel of life. That transformational energy is what we want to experience every single day. In whatever work we are doing, we can say to ourselves, I would like to tap into that transformational potential today in regard to this particular work I am doing. Work and worship and paying attention is opening myself to highest awareness. I am opening myself for the spirit of life to come work with me, because this is where the potential for new insight exists. The potential for new insight comes in the act of asking for help from the primary potential of the spirit, the vibration behind the vibration, which is the basis for vibration, the vibration that comes from the silence of emptiness into crystallized meaning. Ceremonies with color. There are many ways to work with the medicine wheel. What is given here are ceremonies using the vibrational essence of color in conjunction with the medicine wheel. I have received these from my own work with paying attention to spirit. In this chapter, we have given 4 different colors, one for each direction of the medicine wheel. Different societies or different clans might assign other colors for the 4 directions because of their particular area of interest or concern, and so the colors will vary. It is believed by many writers that the tribes appeared on the surface of the earth with different mandates. They came here to expand on specific areas of concern. For instance, the Hopis came here to bring prophecy. Other tribes came specifically to present other gifts to the world cultures. Different cultures bring to the planet different ideas for specific reasons, in accordance with assignments which were given to them from ancient times. What is important in today's society is not what is right or what is wrong, but in what way is this unity of the planet manifesting itself? There is only one direction, and that is the direction of Wa Chi Chi Hu, the search for becoming. We become the truth that is found in the different colors in order to investigate them, to find meaning. Otherwise, we do not exist. Meaning means goodness that is purifying the personal self, as above, so below. Each color has a predominant resonating vibration which, when used in the ceremonies given here, will almost instantly give answers. This is because the color is directly connected to a particular vibration that, when used properly, will connect the brain almost instantly to that which it seeks to know. I first learned this way whilst I was in the desert without food or water for 8 days. I went out in the desert to fast because I wanted to confront temptation. I took with me a canteen of water and some food, but my intention was to go without food and without water for 8 days. During the first few days in the desert, I struggled with thirst, but I wasn't really tempted to break my fast. I also struggled with the heat of the daytime and the cold of the night. Then, after a few days, I ceased to be aware of thirst and heat and cold. I became aware of vibrations from the sand and the plants around me. I noticed that each of these had their own specific qualities of vibration, their own natural resonances. Then I became aware of the vibrations of colors, vibrations not audible but sensible. They were finer, softer, yet stronger resonances than the normal sounds one hears with our physical ears. One of the ways to use the medicine wheel is as a preparation for ceremony. Face the east and purify yourself with the sound ah. Turn to the west and repeat the sound E to bond you with all things and all of the eternities, to connect you to the physicality of all things in that moment. Now, face the direction of the south and the sound Eh, that you may be related to yourself and to others. Turn to the north and sound O to connect you to spirit, the breath of everything. Having called in the 4 directions, you are now ready to proceed with these or any other ceremonies. Black light. In the essence of the darkness is to call into existence from non-existence that which we are searching for. That is the metaphor of the nighttime. The breath and the blackness are the same thing because spirit is in the breath of nighttime-ness. Spirit gives life through the breath to the body of life. Since the breath is what gives life to everything moment by moment, then it is by looking into the black moonlight that we find that we cannot find what we cannot find in the white daylight. The reason we cannot find it in the white light is because what is in the black hasn't appeared yet, hasn't manifested yet. In the white light, we do not exist until the dark moonlight gives us existence. If you want to find out something you know nothing about, formulate a screen in front of you and look into the black light. You may see whatever knowing you are giving coming out of the black light, because the essence of black light is seeing that which we have been looking for and haven't found yet. Suppose we want to find out something about someone's health. We send out that seeking vibration into the black light. Knowledge appears always from the no-formness of that dark space into the white daylight of knowing. Yellow light. See again a circle of light, only this time see the circle as the color yellow, because yellow is a symbol of openness, openness to another realm that you have not been able to access up to this point. Create a yellow screen and stare into it. New awarenesses will open up for you in that direction. White light. White light is used to break a pattern or readjust something in your life. For example, you may want to break a mental block or an emotional block of some kind. Visualize a white screen. See that pattern being shattered and see how you want to remold yourself. If you can visualize clearly on the white light background, then that shift can be made. Red light. If you want a satisfactory completion to a task, use the color red as the background on the screen. Put one of your projects up against the red screen. By using the vibration of red, visualize good ending to that particular project in your life. Remember that in the beginning we came into the existence from a flash of light, and it became the first circle that included all of life. Indeed, today we are still made up of the unfolding moments of appearing and disappearing circles of cognizance, of knowingness. A prayer I use today is, I love you, my beingness made of awe, my circle of illumination, my circle of life.